When most people talk about prostitution, they talk about the so-called choices of women, and the men who pimp them and the men who buy them often disappear from the picture, as though prostitution was something a woman did by herself in her backyard occasionally. Let's look at some numbers so that we get an idea of how big this issue actually is and how many men are involved. Here is a list of studies that show the percentage of men of the entire population, the estimated percentage of men who are Johns. And as you can see, there's a wide variety of estimates varying between different years and different places. And 75 sounds really bad, right? But even 10%, think about it, even 10%. Think about how many men you know. If every 10th man is a John, even if it's just every 10th man, that means that you know men, several, most likely, who buy sexual access to women's bodies. You can't really say that it's something that's happening someplace far away that doesn't concern you, because it's very, very likely that men in your life, maybe even men close to you, are doing this. So let's be frank, let's be brutally honest. As mentioned, a prostituted woman has to allow a man to penetrate her vulva, anus, and or mouth, and oftentimes also has to manually please the man in question, all the while acting like she's enjoying herself. More accurately, not one man, but several a day, varying somewhere between 5 to 30 men, and sometimes even involving 24-hour shifts. In extreme cases, it's more men than that. Let's do some math. Let's say it's only 10 men a day, 5 days a week, keeping in mind that for many prostitute women it is more than that. That's 50 men per week. 50. Roughly 220 men a month. 2,640 men a year. For women working under the worst and poorest conditions, things are even bleaker, such as what Catharine MacKinnon reports from Kolkata, India. Women in prostitution in Kolkata told me they service 20 to 30 men a day on average, with no choice over the sex or the men, so do the math. Each woman services as many as 8,000 men a year. Here are some accounts of survivors. During my time in prostitution, spending over 10 years, I rarely had days off, sometimes had 20 to 40 buyers a day, and lived inside the brothels and apartments. My pimp took all of my money, and he repeatedly raped me and beat me while inside the brothels. An average shift would mean having sex with 5 to 8 men. Some were short bookings, 20 minutes, others were long, 1 hour. I think it was around the 2-year mark that I started to feel the strain both physically and emotionally. If you do prostitution full-time, you would generally have 5 long shifts and, on average, have sex with between 20 to 40 strangers, some of whom will treat you badly. How can anyone think that is not going to do harm? On the streets, it could be 10 men a night. It's hard to describe the full effects of the psychological coercion and how deeply it eroded my confidence. By my late teens, I was using cocaine to dull the pain. I was receiving men in my room for up to 18 hours a day. When police officers came to the brothel, they came as customers. They didn't notice anything, or else they didn't care. Let's talk some more about the men, the Johns, the punters. The main users of women in prostitution are regular men who are in regular marriages, study in regular educational programs, and have regular jobs, some of whom are entrusted with upholding the very laws that they violate. In other words, studies indicate that prostitute users in general are not marginalized men, unlike the women they use and abuse. These are men who most of the time are complete strangers to the prostituted woman. They are men whom she's likely to find unattractive. There are men who buy her who have disgusting body odors. Some are overweight and they suffocate her while lying on top of her. Some are the age of her father or even her grandfather and may get off on pretending that she is a teenager or even a female relative of theirs. Here's one account. Most prostitutes have wives, girlfriends, children, and families, and many of the men who used me had children older than I was. About 6 months after I got into prostitution, I met a man who became a regular punter for a period of around 18 months. I was 15 or 16 at the time. He was 83 years old. It is difficult to trust men when you know so many of them are prepared to pay to use the bodies of women and girls who are younger than their own daughters. If a woman finds a man unattractive and does not want to have sex with him, which is the sex of prostitution, if she has to provide the sexual access anyway, her vulva will not self-lubricate, thus making penetration very often somewhere between uncomfortable and very painful. Many prostitute women constantly have to use artificial lubricant, if they have access to it, and even while using that, the female body is in pain. The female body is physically not made to be penetrated by 5 to 30 strangers a day. It just isn't. I'm now going to quote more women who have experienced prostitution to further describe the reality of it and to back up the claims that I've made so far. Just to let you know, a lot of this will not be easy to stomach, and unlike neoliberals, I will not censor or sugarcoat, but use the very language the women use themselves. Here are some accounts. My body always hurt from the constant rough sex. I'd get jaw ache from blowjob after blowjob. Group stuff was especially harrowing. I often threw up at the anticipation and couldn't have done it sober. Its scents and tastes and body fluids, pretending to enjoy or at least endure stuff you didn't want to do. Stuff that hurts, stuff that's degrading, more than the usual fuck and suck. And it's gritty and dirty, inserting sponges so you can still have sex during a period, wiping off cum and then lubing up for the next guy. I was in constant physical pain and so tired, I had to be careful not to fall asleep while I was a John. I know I'm repeating myself, but I really think that this is one of the most important points that people have to understand when talking about prostitution. The circumstances of prostitution do not make it possible for a woman to experience authentic pleasure. Worse than that, the system of prostitution demands that the woman fakes her pleasure. She is paid to pretend to enjoy something that is very often actually experienced as an act of violence on the part of the woman. Here are formerly prostituted women describing what it's like to fake attraction and sexual pleasure. In this account, Tanya is explicitly talking to Johns. This is what she has to say to them. If you think that I ever felt attracted to you, you are terribly mistaken. I have never had any desire to go to work, not once. I have never been turned on by you. If you thought you were doing me a favor by paying me for 30 minutes or an hour, you were wrong. I would rather have had you in and out as fast as possible. When you thought yourself my holy savior, asking what a pretty girl like me was doing in a place like that, you lost your halo when you proceeded to ask me to lie down on my back and then put all your efforts into feeling my body as much as possible with your hands. Another survivor, in a letter that she wrote to her younger self. You learn how to make the men happy. The happier they are, the nicer they treat you. You'll get very good at being a hooker. But when the Johns say, baby, you were born for this, that doesn't mean it's true. Now when most men come near you, you feel a stabbing at your eyes, your throat, and your gut that you know isn't real, and you don't want to admit it, but you're terrified. You start, you tremble, your hands shake. Think about it. You're being stabbed a lot these days. This is a quite reasonable reaction to being used by man after man, day after day, in this prison of a brothel.